these are the top 5 features you must know about in the latest Power BI update of November 2019. Now, there is mostly good news all around, but there is a piece of, well, maybe bad news, and this is around Power BI licensing. Now, you definitely want to hear about this, so make sure to watch till the end. Now, this is what you are going to get if you stick around with me through this video. You're going to see the top 5 features which makes working in Power BI as easy as in Excel. Well, what? Well, hold on. We'll talk all about it in just a second. Now, these features make it easier for you to get information from web pages. You're going to see that how this helps your report users access additional information when available and helps you understand not just the what, but the why behind your numbers. And these new features easily bring the power of AI to your Power BI models. So let's get started with number 5 about the feature that makes working in Power BI as easy as working in Excel. Now, let me introduce myself. My name is Avi Singh. I'm a Microsoft MVP and a best-selling Power BI author. And if you want to become a Power BI pro, make sure to click subscribe and hit that bell so you are notified whenever I go live to answer your Power BI questions. Now, besides this video, we also have a complete month-by-month playlist, and that can help you catch up on all the recent Power BI updates which you may have missed, and you can just click on the corner to access that after you watch this video. If you're just getting started or keep getting stuck in Power BI, make sure to check out our #1 ranked Power BI tutorial and start creating beautiful dashboards in 60 minutes. All right, so number 5 is the feature that makes working in Power BI as easy as working in Excel. And what am I talking about? Ta-da! The modern ribbon. Well, what were you expecting? Pivot tables? Well, hold on and check it out. This is a really cool and amazing improvement in Power BI. So first of all, this is a preview feature, so make sure to go to your options and turn this preview feature on. So modern ribbon, well, it looks like this. And if you notice that this looks quite like Microsoft Excel. Let me just show you a demo. So again, if you look at Excel and especially kind of the data tab here, oops, I lost that. There we go. So data tab, notice how the buttons kind of look like here. And if you were to switch over to the new Power BI, the buttons look quite the same. So again, the look and feel is very similar, and that's awesome. That's gonna give you a consistent experience as you use different Microsoft tools, but it goes beyond that. So again, I mean, visually it just looks a lot more usable. Look at how beautiful Themes is. I mean, you expand the drop down and you visually see how the different themes look like rather than just a simple drop down earlier. And what else do we have? Besides this, buttons shown are dynamic. So earlier, if you were in the Home tab, and you can try this out if you still have the old version, as you switched around to different views, what happened was that some buttons blinked out or grayed out if they were not applicable. But now, instead of that, it just removes that and instead shows you more contextual buttons, right? So again, you notice the Home tab, it kind of completely changes as you switch through these things, right? So switch through the report view, data view. So the buttons shown are dynamic, and not just that, the tabs are dynamic as well. So let's go and explore that. So notice what happens as well, you kind of already see that. So as I'm selecting on a visual, you can see these ones which are dynamically shown: format, data, drill. Now what if I selected a table? Notice that now the table tools lights up, and what if I were to select a measure, then a measure tools lights up, and if I were to select a column, then of course, well, you guessed it, column tools lights up as well. And oops, right there. And these are pretty awesome. So if you look at that, they're beautifully laid out. So let's look at the measure, and if you look at the measure tools, and you know, it's just got more space, and it's you know, looks really beautiful. And it has got one bonus feature, single line ribbon, which my understanding is it only is available in Office Online. So way on this side in the corner, you would notice a small button, and watch what it does. So I'm going to click that button, and boom, it collapses this to a single line. and that just gives you a little more space while still keeping the ribbon available when you are working on the authors. Now, here's the kicker, my friends. So now that Microsoft has adopted this is just the first step, and they plan to do a whole lot of cool stuff. So for one, who likes to use this teeny tiny small itsy bitsy visual gallery? Well, nobody, right? Yeah, it's just really small. And imagine what they did to the themes over here. Let me expand that again. Right? Imagine being able to choose your visuals not from this tiny layout, but something, kind of expands and gives you a full display of that. And of course, who loves the endless kind of formatting options which go on and on this panel? Well, yeah, again, nobody does. And yeah, search kind of makes it bearable, but still it's kind of struggle to work with. Imagine if controls were dynamic and I mean, you could click on a axis and format axis. I don't know how far they're going to take this stuff, but they are going to be on this journey, and you can bet that we're going to keep seeing exciting results here. All right, so let's go to number 4. This one is going to make it easier to get information from web pages, and that feature is Web by Examples Connector. Specifically, the new addition here is support for extracting links. Let's take a look. All right, so I'm going to click Get Data and Web, and we have this page which it's still kind of under construction. The idea here is that to feature the people who inspire me, and I'm hoping that they are going to inspire you as well. So we call it the Wall of Inspiration, and again, it's not structured. There's no table here, so the usual approach wouldn't work. So I'm going to go in here, click OK, and now I'm going to click this button down at the bottom, Add Tables Using Examples. All right, so now it's showing me the page, a preview of the page, and down here I can enter the values. I can scroll down here, but I'm just going to peek over to my page and I'll show you how it's structured. So we have a kind of a headline and then a video, which we're going to ignore, and then this one is actually a URL, and that's where we're interested in to be able to grab this URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch in the first 2 titles here, and then I'll check in back in with you. So if we go back here, I'm going to type those in and check back in a sec. All right, so I entered the first 2, and you notice that I entered those 2, but then it figured out the rest, which is pretty awesome. Let's do the same thing here. So I'm going to punch in the first URL, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little better. And then I'm going to punch in, oh wow, dang it, gosh, didn't even need me to punch in the second URL. It already did it, right? And of course, this one, you can rename the column and just load the data, right? And that's it. And of course, as the page, if there was something added, removed, the next time, as long as the structure stayed same or similar, it's going to extract all the information. And again, the new feature this time is what you saw me doing, that it can extract the URL itself. It understands that. So again, earlier this wasn't possible. That's number 4. Let's go on to number 3, and this is going to help your report users access additional information when available. Actually, that's just going to be one of the use cases. The feature here is incredibly powerful, which is to conditionally format buttons. But again, what I'm going to show you today is how you can use this to have your users access additional information. Now, folks, you can. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and let's go back to our file. All right, my friends, so I'm going to show you the functionality. By the way, you can always download this file and any other file that I show in the video at this URL, learnpowerbi.com/download. So what we have here is that, based on the country that's selected, this button, so watch this button closely, it's going to change, right? So let's say, for instance, if no country is selected, then, it just goes default. But then let's just zoom in. So if I select Australia, then it says, oh, cool, I have some report available. Germany, and it says, yep, still stays lit up, and I'll show you what it does. But there's this NA, and it just says, well, sorry, no, not available. Now, what it's doing is it is changing a lot of things. It's changing the button color, the button text, the button URL, everything. So if we were to go to, let's try United States, and then, whoa, hold on. Okay, apparently United States doesn't have United Kingdom. Let's try that. So if I click on United Kingdom, and in my case, the button URL is not very fancy. Oh, I have to hold down Control click, and well, the detailed report is a map. So hey, that's the best I could do. All right, it's a demo. And if you were to go to France, or let's try Australia, and they would open, oh, well, voila, the detail. So again, obviously in your case, the detailed report would be something that passes in that information and to a URL saying, hey, pull up the detailed report for Australia. This could be for a secondary system. So again, use your imagination for your own scenario. The key thing there is, again, that if you look at this element, so again, I'm going to zoom in, a lot of these elements are conditionally formatted, right? So, and the way to do that is, well, let me show you something which is not conditionally formatted. Let's try. Yeah, right here. So notice, you're going to notice 3 ellipses here next to that, and you just select that and say conditional formatting, and you can choose a field value. So the button text here is conditionally formatted, right? So if you click on this, it's going to open, and I'm using a measure here called button text, and you can find all of those in this new formula section. So you can see button fill color, button outline, button text, button URL. All of these items have been conditionally formatted. So that is pretty cool. And again, it's only limited by your imagination. In this case, that's how I'm using it. Like, right, the button lights up. If there is additional information, it lights up. If it is not available, then it's kind of dimmed out, so they know that it's not active, right? So that's what I'm using it for. But of course, you can I'm sure you can think of more creative uses than that. All right, so let's keep going, my friend, and let's talk about number 2. And this is really incredible. This is something that's going to help you understand not just the what, but the why behind your numbers. And the number 2 feature is really awesome and huge. It is a decomposition tree visual. I really wish they came up with like a really sexy name for this, because man, this is a really sexy feature. Now again, this is a preview, so make sure to go to in your options and turn on the preview feature. But let's take a look at this. So this is what it looks like. Actually, let me just kind of restart it, and let's just do it from scratch. So you go into your teeny tiny visualization panel, which I'm hoping is gonna kind of get a makeover soon, and you click decomposition tree, and this one is really simple. Frankly, sometimes the quick insights kind of struggle to just keep everything straight in there. Maybe that's just me, but this one is really simple. All we have to do is drag in what do I want to analyze, sales, and then just a few different things. How would you want to see this by? So what I'm going to do is come in here and I'll say, well, maybe I want to look at it by country, and then maybe I want to look at it by the product category and subcategory. By the way, the order in which you do this does not matter. Yep, kind of felt weird to me, but yeah, the order in which you do this doesn't matter, and you're going to see in a second. So you say, I want a color, and again, you can see all of these being added, and again, the order is not important. Just select the things that you feel. So let's try a few other things. Let's try education and occupation, and we'll call that good, right? And of course, based on your model, right? So the visual, and again, you can have it be full screen, or you can have it be part of a bigger layout. For now, we're going to explore kind of in the full screen. So if you leave the visual like this, the user themselves, even after you publish this report, is going to have this interactivity. So what they can do is they can come in here and they can say, oh, cool, I want to expand it. And then they have a lot of different options. So you can say, oh, I want to see by country. And cool, country. Oh, okay, maybe I'm interested in Australia. And so in Australia, I want to see by color. By the color of the product, what is selling more? Oh, black is selling. Is there a specific occupation? So obviously, man, AdventureWorks data, right? Not very exciting, but oh wait, look, professional people in Australia buy a lot of black colored products, right? So you see what I'm talking about. And guys, it gets better. It gets better. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Power BI team is just. So what you can do is you want to say, you know what? I don't want to hunt around. Maybe there are too many things here. Just show me. Where do you see, kind of where the metric is highest, right? And So it goes through the the different options and sets that up automatically. And by the way, so let me just expand one more level. So if you by country, so these two, they oh gosh, hold on, where is, yeah, something didn't go right. So if we expand this and let's try low value, and you notice this icon because we used one of those smart options, right, with the light bulb. So this is using AI, right? So it's saying, I'm going to show you the factor which has a lowest sale. And it's telling you sales is lowest when color is white. And what it did is it's analyzed all the other factors, right? So it looked at subcategory, education, occupation, and outside of that, what it figured out was that there's something in the color which is the lowest value. Now, the best part is that this can change dynamically. So if your data changes, or if somebody uses a slicer or something like that and filters it down to Australia where it's not the color, it's the category, then this can be dynamically replaced, right? So, and again, play with this and get a feel of this. And the other thing is you can, of course, leave this in an expanded state. If you save it, that's how the users are gonna see it. And if you wanna, if you notice this lock icon, so if you leave something unlocked, that they can delete it and they can expand or use something else there. And of course, as a user, I think generally you should be okay with that. But in case you want to lock something, you can just hover over it and just lock it, and then the users, when you publish the report, would not have the option to kind of remove it from here. So it depends on what kind of interactivity. By the way, just to kind of emphasize, just like any other Power BI visuals, this is fully interactive. So I can click on red and it highlights everything. So this is selecting this path, right? So United Kingdom accessories red, and everything else kind of filters down to that. How awesome is that? And my God, that was just number 2. What's coming in for number 1? Because number 1 easily brings the power of AI to your Power BI models. Well, kind of number 2 did that too. So hey, this is where there's a bit of a bad news maybe around Power BI licensing. So yeah, you want to listen to this. But hey, another shout out to our monthly update highlights. That's going to help you catch up with all the updates that have been happening with Power BI every month. And of course, check out our number 1 ranked Power BI tutorial. So my friends, the number 1 feature is the AI functions in Power Query. And oh my gosh, this is so cool. So if you go to your Power Query editor now, you're going to find this section at the end, and it is not AL transforms, it is AI transforms. Yeah, I mean, I think. All right, so AI transforms, and there are 3 options here: text analytics, vision, and Azure machine learning. And text analytics right now has these 3 options, and I have a feeling that Microsoft Power BI team is going to add more. And vision has its tag images. And Azure machine learning, I think you use your own models. But guys, this is where things kind of went sideways for me. So I tried my best to use this feature to show you a demo, but this requires a premium capacity. So if you try to use it, you're going to find the same. And this is, well, there's no other way to say it. So it requires Power BI Premium, and that's challenging. Why? Because, well, PowerBI.com, you can use that for free. If you're using it for yourself, it doesn't cost you anything. It's $0. Now, if you do want to share your reports with other users and so forth, then you can use PowerBI.com Pro license, which is just $10 per user per month. And that's not bad. But Power BI Premium, which is required for these AI functions, is $5,000 a month. I don't even know what to feel about this. It's like there, it's in the ribbon. I want to use it. Like, oh gosh, I want to do sentiment analysis. Yes, let me do sentiment analysis, please, my friends. So I want to ask you to do a sentiment analysis of your own. What do you think? But most importantly, what does this make you feel? To have this feature but not be able to use it unless, oh my gosh, you're one of those lucky dogs whose company has bought Power BI Premium and they have Power BI Premium capacity. So leave a comment and let me know, my friend. Help me through this. All right, so let me know if the November 2019 update did deliver on these promises or not. And hey, make sure to watch our next video, including the monthly update playlist and the tutorial and all of our other videos. And don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, power on.